shot of the CFL Grey Cup trophy being delivered to Winnipeg by the Royal Canadian Armed Forces earlier this week ahead of Sunday's big final between the Saskatchewan Roughriders and the Montreal Alouettes. Here to tee up the big game is TSN Bar Down's Luca Celebre live from Princess Auto Stadium this morning in Winnipeg. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, happy to have you. I think we should just start first by talking about maybe just a quick recap of how the Alouettes and the Riders punched their tickets to the final.
Yeah, it's a great place to start. And for the Owls, it's kind of been an up and down year. It started strong, and then obviously injuries to Davis Alexander, their quarterback, kind of put them in a weird spot midway through the season, but they got hot right before the playoffs with him coming back into the lineup. He's undefeated as a starter, and he really carried that momentum into the playoffs, beating Winnipeg, and then, of course, last week in the East Final, beating Hamilton, and he made a ton of great plays despite the injury that he's kind of dealing with ahead of the Grey Cup. And for the Riders, they've been the best team in the CFL arguably all season long, so it's kind of been a wire-to-wire division win for them. They really haven't been challenged all that much. They had a bye in the first round of the playoffs, and the game against BC was very close, but they have been kind of the best team in the league all season long, and so it's not as much of a surprise to see them in this position given everything they've done this season and their entire body of work.
And it's interesting because this is the first time the Riders have made it to the final in 12 years. Meanwhile, the Owls, they won their last Grey Cup in 2023. So who do you think has the momentum here?
It's interesting. I think both teams have momentum for different reasons. Montreal has played their best football of the season at the perfect time, but obviously the injury to Davis Alexander and how healthy he is maybe something that takes away from some of that momentum. He has talked about how he is not missing this game. He's going to be out there. To what extent, though, that injury hampers him, we are yet to see that, and I think we'll only be able to find that out on Sunday. And as for the Riders, I think they have a ton of momentum. This team has kind of overgone a culture change since Corey Mace came into the fold as the head coach. He has changed this franchise in so many ways. They play like he played as a player when he won a Grey Cup and was playing with Calgary. It's all about effort and toughness and physicality, and that's the identity that they have. So they have momentum for different reasons, I think, coming into this game, both teams. I don't know which one has the edge, but maybe the Riders, just because there's not an injury question lingering around their team for their starting quarterback.
And of course, the days leading up to the big game is really like a homecoming for the CFL. I mean, we had Tough Enough, our Stampeders horse, make its appearance yesterday. So just what's the atmosphere like in the city right now?
I remember seeing that horse last year, too, in Vancouver, and it was so cool. The atmosphere is amazing. You've got fans from every team here, and Winnipeg's such a great CFL city as well. They sold out every home game this year here, so you're getting that Winnipeg contingent. You're getting fans from across the league here. The weather has held up perfectly. It hasn't been too cold, hasn't been too windy, so everyone's been able to enjoy the city, enjoy the festivities, and I think it just is a perfect culmination of the CFL season and what Canadian football is all about.
Again, that's Luca Celebre, TSN Bar Down, joining us this morning to tee up the 112th Grey Cup, which is happening this Sunday in Winnipeg. You can watch the game on TSN and right here on CTV with kickoff at 4 p.m. Mountain Time.